Hello, ladies and gentlemen, the Grand Spartan back with another episode of 7 Days to Die. Today we're going to continue working on this base, try to get it closer to finished stages. I have not done anything since our stream. I want to thank you first off for all your support on the stream the other day. It was kind of an unannounced stream, but we had a good time. I was out of town all weekend and returned, and I said, you know what, instead of... There goes the broken leg for the episode. I think I'll just keep that broken leg for a while, but I figured instead of record, I'd run a short stream, which, lasted an hour and a half or so. But we had a good time, good turnout, a lot of good people. Appreciate your support on that, your donations and kind comments. All of that makes the stream that much better. It would not be a stream without all of you. But we're getting close to finishing up the defenses. We touched on it in the or on the stream that supports like you all are talking about, the angled supports will not work for something like this. If you see, well, we'll get close to the top and I'll show you an example. But I use supports for the inner portion of this, and I'm still believing that the supports actually add no structural integrity whatsoever, because if go test it for yourself, but if you were to put rebar on a piece of concrete and extend it for the amount of weight that it's supposed to hold, then throw your reinforced concrete steel support underneath that and extend, and I guarantee it falls the same amount. So it's not like putting that support is going to double the amount of weight that one block can hold. But in this particular case, the angled pieces do not extend the direction that I need to extend unless you're going to block a hole up here. So this would be the only way to do it, is to build the pillars up from the bottom, which is fine because I just need one row of spikes closest to the pillars on the interior portion where we're going to be. But I'll have spikes littered about. Probably won't do them all steel. We'll probably just do the inner most portion of them steel, and the rest of them we'll leave scrap iron. But, I did note all your comments on that. And as we get close to the top, I'll explain what I'm talking about here. As a matter of fact, we'll go ahead and break out a support here. Let's make one of these supports real quick. Concrete support. We'll have it when we get to the top, and we'll talk about that and how to utilize those and why they can't be utilized on such a build. Would have been great if we could have, but I did use those. I don't know, most of you probably have seen the interior portion of the base. I used them on that. They're mostly for looks, but you're just hoping that they would add some sort of support. So let's shift click that out, shift click this one on. So we have the gap right here, right? So if we wanted to support that like that, then it blocks the hole where they're going to fall through. They're going to get caught up there. If you put one here, there's another hole right there. You can't turn it on the angle to hold that up. Now you can do this. Let's click it about a dozen times here together. You can do this, but this does not hold the weight of the block above it. This just counts as the block below, but it doesn't attach. I tried that. I tried putting one at an angle here, and it still does block the hole over there. But if you were to put one right here, you could maybe attach one below and then one above, but it didn't look like it was going to work. It looked like what you see on the right-hand side. It was going to hang up. You were going to hang up. As a matter of fact, I sacrificed myself. Grand Spartan sacrificed himself and fell through the hole, and you do kind of bump onto it. So I imagine, a gore block or something could get caught on that, and, it'd be in a lot of trouble if you did. So we didn't want that. We didn't want them to get hung up as they fall through the hole. On the stream, we did have a wandering horde come through and worked magnificently. They fell through like we had planned. So hopefully when the horde arrives, we'll have ourselves a dandy and everything's going to work as planned. Get over here. So not much left here on this portion of it, and we'll be done. We can move on to the interior portion. I don't think I'm going to get too fancy with that, but I did try out Alpha 16 Experimental. Good many bugs in there that I found. I did not report them because I'm sure a lot of you who have tried it have reported them already. Things like the vultures, the wolves, the zombies, anything that will attack you will come up to you and run around in a circle. And you can stand right next to them, and they will not attack you. They just keep running around in a circle. So I had that. Then I turned up the spawn because I wanted to check frame rates, to see what was going to happen with that. And so I turned it up to 64 per wave, and the horde came, and I was all excited, and I got one zombie to come out. I killed that zombie, and about 10 seconds later, one more zombie came out. So there's something going on with that. It's not, spawning like it should. Some pretty cool things. I know some of you said it's a lot harder than 15. I didn't really experience that outside of the wolves, the snakes, and the vultures add a little more, higher degree of difficulty. But as far as the zombies themselves and what they add for difficulty, it's about the same as 15. I think we're looking at the same kind of thing. The looting system is going to be a bit different. I tried about a dozen different seeds just to get an idea. And I only found out of several cities on each seed, I only found one working stiff hardware. No, I found two. I found one, we'll say 2.5 because I found one on one seed. And then the next seed I went to, I found another one. And then I found like a little itty bitty working stiff. The working stiff hardware, we have 2 of those in every hub city. There's no hub city anymore. So I'm a bit spoiled with that. I like it. I like the idea of the loot system being like that. I kind of wish they would have had it that way all along, and everyone wouldn't have gotten spoiled on those working stiff hardware stores. But anyway, it is what it is, and we'll make it work. We'll figure out a way to make it work. And I always play with higher loot settings anyway. Loot's really not the... It's like this. It's like it's going to slow you down very early game in the first couple weeks, but after that, it's the same game, and you're just going to be beating up on it and taking on all the hordes as usual and building your bases and whatnot. Once you get one good base, then you're set for a while, and you just sit there and stockpile loot. So in game, it's not going to matter that much. It's only very early game. So, I play with the loot settings up a bit anytime I play through, and I don't too much worry about the early game. It's fun and all, to go through and survive for the first couple of weeks. I just want to get to building, I like doing what I'm doing here, and so I want to make sure I have everything I need to build, all the parts. And of course, I love my auger. I did try out the auger on Alpha 16, and it works a little differently than it did on this one. Doesn't seem quite as effective. So, I don't know what to think about that. But what is great is the way the tools level up. I was never, ever a fan. I was always against spam crafting tools. Once the perk system was implemented, I would just use that as an alternative to spam crafting any type of tool or weapon, and eventually you're kind of forced to spam craft a bit, but I'm glad that they took that out. And I did notice too the difference between a brown pickaxe per se. I picked at a piece of concrete, and I was getting destroyed stone, and I was getting 5 stone and 4 sand per whack, I think it was, or either 5 and 2, whatever it was. With the purple, it was double. It was 10 and either 10 and 8 or 10 and 4, whatever it was doubled. And that was with no perks at all. And the perks are going to increase that too. So, whereas some of the difficulty has gone up in some of the things, you're making up for it with that. Just that alone is making a huge difference, because imagine now if we took our auger with all of our perk points handed out, we'd be getting like double or triple or quadruple the amount of stone and iron and all of the stuff as we mine. So, that's where it shines for me, because I love to build. Building requires a lot of mining and gathering resources. And so you're going to spend less time gathering the same or even more resources than you did before. And I like that. I like that idea. So looking forward to that part of it, and getting these mining tools upgraded. That's usually something I start on kind of early off as miner 69er, and getting my mining tools upgraded so we can pick our way to bedrock. And I did try the 50 pillar build, and it works beautifully. Very disappointing thing, though. I knew it was coming. I knew it would happen. I probably should have never, and I'm not going to just blame it on me, because I'm sure there's someone else out there that used it too. But, I had some of those barbed wire defense videos sort of take off. I mean, it didn't take off and get hundreds of thousands of views. All together, maybe they did. But they fixed barbed wire. You can't use that as a defense as we did before any longer. You can't put it flat on the ground unless I missed something. I tried putting it flat on the ground, and you can only put it on walls now, which is pretty useless to me. The zombies walk up to the walls and they hit it once and it's gone. And it really doesn't do that much damage. Pronto was saying you could put it on the walls for spiders. It would work for that, but it's just going to do a tiny trickle damage, and they're going to crawl over it and keep going anyway. So they really did fix that, and I was disappointed, because the first base I wanted to start out on with Alpha 16 was going to be the whoa, Grand Spartan, what are you doing? I was trying to set my timer. Was going to be the barbed wire defense, cobblestone and barbed wire. So when I found out that didn't work, I made myself a 50 pillar build, similar to what we have in front of us. Still works as it did on this alpha. There's no difference. Made it out of cobblestone. Let a couple scouts that I came across from digging spawn 2 hordes, and they fell in, and it worked, beautifully, just like it would on here. So it looks like probably our first base on Alpha 16 is going to be a 50 pillar build with cobblestone or flagstone. Well, probably cobblestone, because I don't think you can make 50 pillars on Alpha 16 with flagstone. But either way, that'll be our first base, our first horde base. And I don't think I'll start out with a 64 per wave. Hopefully they get that fixed, because like I said, I only had 1 zombie per wave come at me. And that was pretty lackluster. But, we'll go at it. We'll figure something out. The traps and all of that are going to come way down the road. I may change up the way I record on Alpha 16, because it's going to be a bit more of a grind. I think maybe we start out with full hour-long episodes documenting just every moment of everything I do, and then we'll transition over to kind of cutting and splicing some of the things, because there's going to be a lot of grinding. There's a lot of there's just a difference between what 15 offered and 16, and I think it's going to be more of a grind to get to the point to where we can build those kind of cool traps, and the spinning blade trap, and the turrets, and gathering all the supplies we need for generators and all of that. So, I'll kind of play it by ear and see what feels good as we go along with it. And yeah, so real excited about it. I was a little disappointed at first, because I thought for sure the working stiff stores had been taken out of the game completely, because I just couldn't find one. Seed after seed, town after town. And, there's no hub city now, which they're on 0-0, where the hub city normally is. 2 of the seed did have cities there. Some of the other seeds, like I said, I tried 12, 13, 14 seeds. All the rest of them were either plains or water or mountains, and there was nothing there. So, but I think I found a pretty good seed, as long as the experimental carries over to the same seed will carry over to the full version. It should, I guess. But I'm guessing that the optimization is going to happen after the full version is released. I was telling Pronto and Old Crow, with about 6 or 7 zombies inside of a building with me, my frames really took a hit. And I just have to believe that it's because it's experimental and that optimization will happen after the full version comes out. Yeah, still to be seen there. But if that's not true, a lot of people are going to be very angry with this 64 per wave that they can turn it up to, because you all have seen the PC build that I have here, the Asus Strix 1080 Ti overclocked, and all of that stuff. New PC, new gaming PC, and it really was struggling with just a handful of zombies. And I read something where some of the newer hardware may actually hurt you on the game right now, or at least on this experimental. So I don't know. We'll just have to see what direction that all goes in when the full release is out. And that's why I don't play experimentals. I don't document what I do, because it is just that. It's experimental. You don't know if a whole lot of things are going to change, or you get all excited about something and then they take it out. And there was no need for me to document something that more than likely you're going to have to wipe anyway. After a week or so of playing it, and I didn't want to start up and then start over, get a week or two into the game and have to start over from scratch again. There was no need to document any of that. But it does look cool. It's different, and that's what's great about this game. It's a game that's always evolving. You're getting like a new game every 7-8 months. That's a beautiful part of it. And I'm sure a lot of those things that I'm seeing now will get worked out before the full version's released. But either way, it's exciting to have a lot of new things to play around with. The cities look magnificent. I mean, they're incredible. The new buildings and the way they did the loot's a little strange to me, with the crates and whatnot. You'll break a crate and then all of a sudden you get a toilet or a countertop or sink or something, and you think it's going to be some crate with some good stuff, and then you break it open and it's a toilet. So, but there's a lot of that kind of stuff on there. So my guess is that, you're going to have so many places to go and loot, that the lack of hardware stores and that type of thing is going to make up for it there. Well, one thing I need to do for this base is I need to make an entrance, and I have not done that. I'm guessing now I probably need to build the base portion in the center. It might be a good idea. Give me a way to get up and down and in and out. And I don't know if I want to waste the resources. This may be our last base. We have a horde coming up in a couple days. And I'm going to make another tiny base to go along with this next horde. But just need to figure out exactly how. Tell you what, I could carry a little more concrete with me here. We need to go get some more concrete from the base too. But need to figure out how I'm going to do it, because I was going to try something the other day, and I know it was before I went out of town for the weekend. I completely forgot what it was that I was going to try. I was looking at something else, and so we'll come up with something for that little tiny little base that we could use to fight the horde in. And I even thought about doing default settings for the horde and walking at nighttime, default settings and us walking at nighttime out in the street to take them on, and then also going up to back to the 35, 45 per wave and having them walk at nighttime, no run, and then we could take on the horde at night that way. So let's see, this zombie is crawling here. Let's see what this zombie decides to do. This zombie decides he wants to take a little trip. Take a little trip, all right. Well, that's done. I need to figure out that entrance. We're going to have to go back to the hub city and make ourselves a drawbridge. I think I made one a while back, and an extra one. I haven't used it. It's in a chest, I think. I'll just have to go find that. I'm going to need to get our ramps up here as well. Let's go down here to the bottom and see about building our way up to the top. I don't want to break my leg again. Going down these stairs. There we go. There we go. All right, so let's see here. How far out does that extend? What is that? 3 out, so... And that would give us 2 on the interior portion here. I tell you what, let's go ahead and fill this in. This needs to be filled in anyway. We want to make this... I don't like the way this bedrock looks. I never have. I don't know if it's possible now with enough damage, but I remember at one point on one of the early alphas, you could destroy bedrock. It just took a lot of doing to take it out, but you could destroy it. It wasn't worth it just to get the little bit of depth that you would get, because it took so much damage to destroy it. But I just don't like the way it looks. Looks kind of funky looking. So we'll just make ourselves a floor here out of concrete, and then we'll build our way up. Right on to the top. Really, all we need here, if I didn't have to sit there and craft the things, that just makes something out of 50 pillars. I just need something that goes up, 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 and away. Don't need to get too fancy with it. Just need kind of a cube that goes up in the middle. Thought about a few different ways to do it, and I said, you know what, it's going to take a lot of resources. We'd have to go get more forges going back at the hub city, because I don't think we have enough over here. More cement mixers. Yeah, I just don't think it's worth that. With Alpha 16 right around the corner, putting that kind of time into it. Who knows? It could be another month. It could be a week and a half from now. They could say, all right, worked out all the bugs. Here's the full version. There's no telling. Based on a few bugs that I saw, I would guess it's going to be a little while still, but that might be something that's quickly fixed. And just playing this an hour a day or less, we have a lot of work to do here still. Like I said, the entrance, we're going to build our way up to the top, and we'll have an entrance that we have to build out of a drawbridge and tunnel through the sand. We need to get more concrete put up around the upper portion so cops don't explode or shoot and do damage to the sand, and then they're going to be digging. One advantage to a base like this is, and we cover this on the Hub City freefall base with the drawbridge going across, is even if they were to tunnel right down to there and come through, they're still on the outside of the base. They still can't get in here. They're going to have to fall down into the pit. So even if that were to happen, even if they could attack downward or dig or whatever, and they could if a cop exploded or destroyed the sand up there, they could have something to sort of beat on. But it doesn't matter. Either way, they're going to fall in the pit. And that never happened at the Hub City base either. With all the cops coming up there, sometimes 6, 8 at a time, we never had that issue where the cops were making them dig. We're gonna get this floor done, and then we'll get it measured out. These blocks will give me a good, easy way to measure by and figure out what we want to do with this base on the interior portion. We could do something cool here. Man, we could put some glass in. Oh, that's one cool thing though. Bulletproof glass. Bulletproof glass, so we can finally have glass on a building and not have to worry about cops taking it out in one shot. It's going to be so durable. As a matter of fact, how many hit points does this have? 6,000. Okay, well, it has half of that. So I think it's the same as regular concrete. It's 3,000. 3,000 hit points, if I'm not mistaken. Which is a lot for glass, and that's excellent. You know, we can build some really cool structures out of glass, and they won't be able to destroy it so easily. Don't know what you'd use to repair that with. I'm guessing crushed glass would make the most sense. It's the only thing you can kind of have to repair that with. We'll just have to see, but you know, we can make some pretty cool bases out of glass and defend them and see everything that's going on, but be encased in glass. So I'm looking forward to playing around with all of the new stuff like that. The traps, yeah, the inner traps are cool. But I'm most looking forward to like painting and the glass blocks and those sort of things. I think they'll be cool to mess around with. Let's see here. That's gonna go. Is that right? Yep. It goes right up into the edge of that. So that's what we want. Probably could have gone one more out. 1, 2, 3. And one more out at the top, but it's fine. It's fine. Let's get a middle point. Looks like the middle to me. Alrighty. Well, only drawback to having doors, it's gonna be, we're only gonna be able to build so high over this area right here. And if you've built some tall structure before, you know what I'm talking about. Where this gap is at right here, I could test it out for you right now just to show you where this gap is. See how high up we can go. Right there. Look at that. And there's my other broken leg. So you can't go but so high over a gap. I'd be able to go a little bit higher maybe if I upgraded that to reinforced concrete, but I'm still not going to be able to go to the top. Then all the concrete's going to fall in, just like what happened right there. So that'll be the only drawback to having a door on each side. Probably should have thought about that and done it a little differently. Maybe if we put a door in there, that also helps a little bit with structural integrity. But not looking to go too high with it. Mostly what I could do... boy, I took a lot of damage there. I need to use a first aid kit. Next time I fall, I'm going to die. Is come to the center where our ladder is going to be and really reinforce that. Reinforce the area that's going to go up to the center. So 1, 2, 3. Put the center here. Make sure we're the same all the way around. Maybe something like... something like that would enable us to go pretty high up. You know what? We wouldn't even have to do that, honestly. I wouldn't even have to have a place to walk into. I could just put a pillar right in the center. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? You could do it something like that. And then that pillar could go all the way to the surface. But let me think about this before I get all gung-ho here and try to... I just need to build this up enough to get a mini bike ramp put in somewhere, maybe not even quite halfway up, just somewhere up there. I don't really see a need to put a door. I don't really see a need to put a door on all 4 sides. Maybe we just put one on 2 sides. Kind of like for it to be accessible, especially during the middle of a horde. You want to get in and out. This place right here, honestly, it serves no purpose as far as taking on a horde. So we could do it kind of however we wanted to do it. Just thought it'd be neat to make it look like it was functional and had some greater purpose. But I think, like I said, if I upgrade this to concrete, I will be able to build a little bit higher, and it should be high enough. It's not going to affect the integrity. So I hear zombies up there. I hear them calling for the Grand Spartan. Alright. Something like that. And then the center part, like I said, could just be a ladder. I know this is off center 1. Or is it? No. Okay, so we could just build a column. We could put a ladder on both sides, really, honestly. Wouldn't matter. Well, I think I like that. I think I like the way that's going to work. We have a 2 gap here for taking on the horde. That's going to work as well. What's our frames per second here? It's not looking so great. We need to do this from the outside and not the inside. And that's why right there, ladies and gentlemen. But I am looking forward to starting back over on Alpha 16. You know, we've had this going for almost, well, really over with the streams and all, and days that I've missed. I've missed a few days in the past 200 or so, but we've been doing this for over 200 days now on Alpha 15. And so it'll be nice to start back over. And then the bonus to that is you get to start over with some new things, some new mechanics, and a few new items. Tried out the compound bow, not so fond of the way you aim it, but I'll get used to it. You know, Grand Spartan doesn't like firearms very much. We've used them a bunch here on this Let's Play just to change it up because we used the club and the crossbow for so long. Yeah, I'd love to be able to use a compound bow. And then there's no perk that I can see for the bow, for the compound bow. Or for archery other than the standard archery skill, but there are no perks for the better lead than dead for the rifles. You know, there's nothing like that I could see. It'd be pretty cool if there were, but either way, we'll make it work. We'll try to use that compound bow and a spike club. Oh, and I also saw that you can craft the machete. Believe that? You believe that? The Grand Spartan could finally have a machete if he wanted to have one. I think that's pretty magnificent. So go ahead and make a little way to walk across here. Yeah, I didn't even know that. I think Pronto told me today in Curse. He's like, hey, did you realize you could make a machete now? It's like, no way. I was all in there looking through and didn't see that there was a recipe for that. I think it's forged iron and wood is all it takes. And you can make yourself a 600 machete. Get those bladed weapon skills leveled up. I'll probably go with the blunt again. Just because on the server we had the spawn increased for, not spawn, but the loot increased for machetes, so everyone could get multiple machetes and combine them and get a 600 machete and have plenty left over to repair. But what I learned on there is that there's no stun or knockback or anything like that with the machete. You hit them, You may delimb them and you may take their head off, but if you don't, they're still coming at you. At least with the spike club, you're getting a little bit of knockback there, a little stun chance, that type of thing. And you're not getting that with the machete. And I'm so used to hitting them and stopping them right there when I hit them at nighttime and they're running at me. I don't know. I mean, I guess I could get used to about anything. It's probably good during the daytime and you're fighting because I think it's a little bit more damage and more chance to take their heads off. But at nighttime fighting, there's not a lot better than the Spike Club. You've seen me in this Let's Play series so many times. Take them on at nighttime out there with that Spike Club and knock them back, knock them down. And, well, I don't know how much longer. I guess we'll probably call it here pretty soon. Most likely save this for the recording while we're building here so you all can see it done step by step. I get questions still about newcomers to the series. They'll say, oh, that's a cool looking base, you know, how did you do this and that? And I was like, I'll look back a few episodes, you know, and you can see it. So with the time that we'll have left here on Alpha 15, I'll probably document most of this. And see the supports up there that I was telling you? Supports, the angle supports. I use those right there. Used them all the way around. I don't think they serve much purpose, but I used them anyway. They look cool. They look cool. I need to build this back up as well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we will most likely call it right there. Grand Spartan will have to figure out a way to get down from here once he gets up. Build myself a little stair system. Goes up and down and all around. And then we'll come back tomorrow. Today is 272, so we'll have one more episode before the Horde. So maybe tomorrow we go up into town. We take a little bit of steel, some concrete and some frames, and we'll make ourselves a Horde bunker for the next Horde. Just a little mini bunker, little tiny thing that we can have some fun with like we did the last one. Of course, the last one turned out to be a little bit larger than I wanted it to be. So maybe we try to make one about half that size or something like that and see what we can come up with. I'm gonna knock this row out here, this level. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have yourselves a good day, good evening, wherever you may be located, and I'll see you all tomorrow.